Have you ever put all your eggs in one basket, only to watch helplessly as everything came crashing down? I'm sure you can relate to that gut-wrenching feeling of loss and regret. Well, believe it or not, far too many investors are making the same mistake when it comes to their portfolio, and it's costing them big time, to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars. In this video, we're going to share with you the #1 costly mistake we see people making time and time again. It's simple, but so many fail to do it properly. By the end, you'll understand exactly how to avoid this beginner error and set yourself up for maximum returns with minimum risk. The mistake? Failing to properly diversify your investments. When you put all your money into just one or two areas, you expose yourself to completely unnecessary risk. One bad event can sink your entire financial future. I'm going to show you exactly how lacking diversification can cost you hundreds of thousands over your lifetime. So you'll want to stick around to the end to learn how to avoid this trap. They said we wouldn't make it, but we're just getting started. Welcome to Retire Rich. We're on a mission to prove that wealth is within reach for all of us, regardless of color, race, or background. For generations, the game has been rigged, but here, we break down barriers and level up your financial game. What is diversification and why is it important? So what exactly is diversification and why is it so important? Diversification means not putting all your eggs in one basket by investing your money across different asset classes, industries, and individual investments. When you diversify, you spread your risk around. This prevents your entire portfolio from being exposed if any single investment takes a nosedive. Imagine if you went all in on one company's stock. If they ran into trouble, you'd lose your shirt. Diversification reduces your risk because if one investment suffers losses, gains in your other holdings can potentially offset them. No one can perfectly predict the future of specific stocks or market sectors. One industry that does well today may struggle down the road. By owning a variety of assets, like stocks, bonds, real estate, both domestic and international, your portfolio isn't relying entirely on any one area to perform. This gives you a much greater chance that some parts will do well to balance out weaker areas. In the end, diversification is your safety net against losing it all by putting all your eggs in one risky basket. The potential cost of an undiversified portfolio. Can you imagine the nightmare of watching your life savings completely evaporate overnight? Unfortunately, this harsh reality struck many undiversified investors in 2001 with the dot-com crash. Take John, for example, who decided in 1999 to invest his $250,000 nest egg entirely into Enron. At the time, it seemed like a safe blue-chip investment. But just 2 years later, an accounting scandal emerged and the stock plummeted to zero, wiping out John's financial future. If John had instead taken a diversified approach and invested his money across low-cost index funds in different sectors, he would be sitting pretty today. Research shows if he split that $250K evenly between a total US stock market fund, international stocks, US bonds, and international bonds, here's what would have happened. By now, after 22 years of compound growth, his portfolio would be worth around $2.1 million, thanks to average annual returns of 8%. Meanwhile, studies found the average undiversified portfolio significantly underperformed those diversified among index funds, losing out on returns totaling hundreds of thousands of dollars. The moral: diversification provides protection when disaster strikes any single holding. Don't end up like John. Protect your future with low-cost, globally diversified index funds instead of gambling it all on one stock. Your portfolio and peace of mind will thank you later. Common reasons for the lack of diversification. There are a few common psychological reasons why many investors fail to properly diversify. First, we tend to invest in things we know personally and understand, like the company we work for. But just because you're familiar with a stock doesn't mean it can't run into trouble. Another issue is focusing only on strong past performance without thinking about future risk. Just because a stock or fund has done well recently doesn't guarantee it will keep outpacing the market. Additionally, taking on too much individual stock risk shows how easy it is to ignore expert advice. Financial advisors almost universally recommend diversifying your portfolio, but it's hard to accept you can't reliably pick winners alone. Overconfidence bias is also dangerous. It's human nature to think we can outsmart the market. But the odds are really stacked against individual investors consistently calling short-term shots. The antidote? Realize these behaviors are normal, but don't let them lead to unnecessary financial vulnerability by avoiding proper diversification across low-cost index funds representing global markets. Protect yourself before it's too late. The importance of rebalancing. It's not enough to simply build a diversified portfolio. You need to actively manage it over time through rebalancing. As the market fluctuates, the percentages you initially allocated to different investments will drift from their targets. Perhaps US stocks now make up 35% of your holdings instead of the intended 25%, while international stocks dropped lower than their target. Left unattended, this imbalance exposes your portfolio to excessive risk. Rebalancing forces you to sell high and buy low to realign allocations back to their original percentages. This process of buying low and selling high helps lock in gains from asset classes that have outperformed. Most importantly, rebalancing ensures you maintain that valuable diversification between investments. Don't let your portfolio's balance become unstuck. Check it at least annually and make adjustments to keep risk in check as the bull and bear cycles roll on. Failing to properly diversify your investments is simply too risky and expensive a gamble. The research is clear that undiversified portfolios significantly underperform diversified ones in both up and down markets. Not diversifying could easily cost you hundreds of thousands in potential returns by exposing you unnecessarily to volatility. The smart move is to build a globally diversified portfolio with the help of a financial advisor. Make sure your holdings are spread across stocks, bonds, real estate, and other assets, both domestic and international. Then use periodic rebalancing to maintain balance as conditions change so no single sector can drag you down. If you follow this approach, your portfolio stands to grow steadily over decades while limiting volatility. So don't fall victim to overconfidence or familiarity biases. Protect your future wealth with the power of diversification. I hope you found this video helpful in understanding the importance of diversification. Be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos with tips for growing your money safely. Until next time.